Landing a quarter in a glass depends entirely on how you manage the initial impact. When the launch is controlled, the coin follows a predictable path from the table to the target. The goal is to move away from random luck. By breaking the bounce down into 4 distinct styles, you can adjust your technique to fit the specific conditions of the table. Success starts with your equipment. You'll need a standard quarter for its weight, a heavy-bottomed glass that won't slide or tip, and a hard, level table surface. Once you have your tools, follow the primary rule of the bounce. Stop looking at the glass. Instead, identify a specific target spot on the table a few inches in front of the rim. Mastering that specific bounce point is what makes the shot repeatable. If you hit that spot with the right momentum, the glass simply becomes the destination for the coin's natural arc. We'll start with the classic pinch. This is the foundational beginner technique, perfectly designed for consistent accuracy over short distances. Begin with a horizontal grip, holding the quarter flat between your thumb and index finger. Push downward with a locked wrist and slight forward glide. Release just before contact so it strikes flat, creating a stable bounce into the glass. If the coin falls short, adjust your angle. A steeper push lands closer, while a shallow angle carries further. Because a flat impact removes most of the spin, the classic pinch is the most reliable way to build a consistent shot. When the table is long or soft, a vertical bounce loses too much energy. In these cases, you need to switch to the frisbee flick. The grip changes here. Pinch the edge of the quarter between your thumb and middle finger. Flick your wrist to toss it forward at a shallow angle, aiming to graze the surface. Think of skipping a stone across water, letting the coin skip low and fast. This works on softer tables because it relies on forward speed. By hitting the table at a shallow angle, the coin skims across the surface instead of being absorbed by a vertical impact. The frisbee flick effectively turns the problem of a soft surface into a horizontal distance solution. The flat slap is a high-difficulty technique used when you need to launch the coin as quickly as possible, even if it means sacrificing precision. Start with the quarter flat on the table, pressing down hard with your index or middle finger. Trigger the launch by either sliding your finger backward or flicking the back edge to shoot it forward. This is difficult to aim accurately because the launch happens so fast. It is much less predictable than a pinched release. However, as the motion blur indicates, the launch is nearly instantaneous, making it effective when speed is the primary factor. While it lacks the calculation of other shots, the flat slap is the fastest way to get a coin moving toward the target. For clearing tall obstacles like pitchers or deep glasses, you need the edge snap. This is an advanced shot used to generate maximum vertical height. Pinch the quarter completely vertical between your thumb and middle finger. Snap your middle finger down onto the top edge, driving it into the table to pop it upward. This creates a steep, arcing trajectory with heavy backspin to stabilize its path. Because the shot has very little forward momentum, your bounce point must be very close to the glass, often right at the base. A successful edge snap will peak high above the rim and fall almost straight down into the center of the glass. By focusing energy into a vertical pop, you clear tall obstacles that block a standard bounce. You now have 4 distinct options for any game: the classic for accuracy, the frisbee for distance, the slap for speed, and the snap for high clearance. To improve, start practicing the classic pinch at a distance of 6 inches. Focus purely on hitting your target spot on the table every time. Once you can land 5 in a row, move the glass back to 12 inches and switch to the frisbee flick to learn how to manage longer distances. Remember to check your grip and verify your bounce point before every shot. Mastering these techniques is about understanding the physics of the table. Once you can read the environment, you'll know exactly which shot to use for the best result.